Hi everyone, it is MJ, which must mean it is Sunday on Confessions of Room 3428. Hi. I am going to try to answer some questions and do some challenges. Josh, I'm a little afraid. Your instructions were a little vague, just a little, which I know they were by design, but being the first person that has to answer the challenge is like, I don't know if I'm gonna do a good job, so I'm gonna try. Bear with me. I've been yelled at because I didn't. I gave the question of what's your favorite moment, what's your favorite quote from the Harry Potter series, and I didn't answer it. Whoopsies. So forgive me while I do a little video cutting, and I will read you my favorite part of Harry Potter. A side note, Lisa took my very favorite part. I mean, that's not a problem, but I'm all about variety, and so I need to give you another part. But the Ron, Harry, Locket destruction is my absolute favorite part of the book. So, also, I'm going to go for some humor, because Deathly Hallows is my favorite book because everything comes to a nice conclusion, a little wrap. I like it. But there's so many amazing wrap moments in that are sad that I'm going for happy. Happy! Okay, I'll be right back. From chapter 31, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, the chapter is The Battle at Hogwarts. Hang on a moment, said Ron sharply. We've forgotten someone. Who? Asked Hermione. The house elves. They'll all be down in the kitchen, won't they? You mean we ought to get them to fight for us? Asked Harry. No, Ron said seriously. I think we should go tell them to get out. We don't want any more Dobbies on our hand, do we? We couldn't order them to die for us. There was a clatter as basilisk fangs cascaded out of Hermione's arms. Running at Ron, she flung them around his neck and kissed him full on the mouth. Ron threw away the fangs and broomstick that he was holding and responded with such enthusiasm that he lifted Hermione off the ground. Is this the moment? Harry said weakly, and when nothing happened except that Ron and Hermione gripped each other still more firmly and swayed on the spot, he raised his voice. Oi! There's a war going on here! Ron and Hermione broke apart, their arms still around each other. I know, mate, said Ron, who looked as though he had just been recently hit in the back of the head with a bludger. So it's now or never, isn't it? So take that, all you Harmony shippers out there. J.K. Rowling and canon for the win. Huge Ron Hermione supporter. That's me. That passage was probably my second favorite in the books. The first would be the Ron Locket thing. I really enjoyed Ron's character development throughout the series, even when I found myself frustrated that he wasn't growing emotionally as quickly as he should be, or that he wasn't quite getting there to be a viable part of the trio. It was one of those things that in hindsight I really appreciate his character development and think it kind of went along the way that it needed to go. So go Ron Weasley, go Hermione Granger, woohoo. The other question that was posed was the non-Potter series, favorite non-Potter series. I am going to be honest with you guys. Before the age of 25 and before I had the book Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire in my hand, I never read a full-length novel. Never. And I was an English major in college who had a 3.4 grade point average GPA. What does that say about our educational system? I don't know. But since becoming a Potter fan and talking to people who want to talk about books, and I'm finding that I am getting to the point in my life where I can actually sit down and read a book, I have read quite a few. I've read all the Jane Austen books, my favorite, Pride and Prejudice, quickly followed by Sense and Sensibility. I love both of those books. Very, very awesome. I've also read a bunch of Janet Ivanovich books. She writes the Stephanie Plum series, Stephanie Plum is an unlikely bounty hunter, an ex-lingerie buyer for a department store who kind of gets thrust into the career of being a bounty hunter, and everything she does is wrong. It's like she's this very smart, intelligent, bumbling idiot who makes every wrong turn she possibly can, and in the end ends up being right. So I identify with her character in the biggest way. She's hysterical. I've also read the Stephenie Meyer Twilight series, and I have to tell you that I enjoy it. It's not the most heavy literature you'll ever read, and I was reading a live journal a couple days ago, and a couple of my friends referred to the Twilight series as literature junk food. It's kind of a guilty pleasure, and it's something that will definitely satisfy what you're what you're wanting to do, which is read and connect with a storyline. But it's certainly not like, I wouldn't say it's a masterpiece. It's enjoyable, for sure. It's not a series. I've just read both of John Green's books, the Looking for Alaska, which I talked about last week. I just also read this week An Abundance of Catherine's. Very good. I enjoyed it very much. So that's kind of what I've got going on with my literature right now. Okay, and now it is challenge time. Oh my god. Okay, I'm a little embarrassed. I'm getting like even blush. Okay. But I was gonna go with my first betrayal, but I tried to come up with like this dialogue video and it sucked. So I'm just gonna go with the story of my first love, which I think we can all relate to. I was in first grade, and his name was Nick Jakes, and he was the most adorable child you would ever want to meet, and actually as a grown man, also very good looking. And I was totally into him. I skated with him at my first skating party and fell down and broke my ankle because I didn't know how to roller skate. And it turned out to be that I had to go to physical therapy for 3 months, and my dad made me take lessons for roller skating, which I still don't do very well, but I'm the one that clings to the wall, like the wall's right here, and I'm like hanging on for dear life. That would be me. But the specific story I wanted to tell about Nick Jakes was that we were on the playground and he came over and stole one of my cat's eye marbles. And I was like, hey, give that back to me. And he's like, no, I don't want to. I said, would you give that back to me, please? And he threw it, and it hit me in the eyebrow, which bled, and I actually still have a scar, if you can see it. It's right there. In which case, instead of crying or whining or freaking out and going to a teacher, I pushed him down on the asphalt and ripped his jeans from like the knee down to the mid-calf. He cried, whined, and ran to a teacher. And the next thing I know, the next day I'm being pulled out of class, and there's Nick Jakes' mom. And she said to me, Mary Jane, I don't really care what kind of mood you're in or what kind of temper tantrum you're ready to throw. If you're upset with my son, keep your hands off of him, because I cannot afford to replace his pants every time you get mad. It's like there's all these in your pants jokes I could place right there, but being that it happened in first grade, I think maybe I will digress and not go on. So that's the challenge. My first love. I ripped his pants. It was quite a sad affair, actually. So that's it. I don't have any challenges or any questions for this week, because I'm running like so long right now, but just wanted to tell you guys I've enjoyed you so much. To our subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. I hope you're enjoying this too, and because I know that we're enjoying having you. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace. I'm out.